Is sponsored by the Garland children, Zeich Nishmas, in memory of their uncle, Gabriel ben Mishna. We are learning Parak chapter 8, chapter 8, Mishna Gimel, Mishna 3. Now, the previous Mishnah had mentioned a halacha by a get, that if you throw a get to the woman, even if it's a public area, if it's closer to her in the sense that she can protect it and he can't, or then she's considered begreshus. She's considered divorced, even though she doesn't own, it's not her property to say that that it's like her hand. As we learned previously, the Chachamim made a special law that in this kind of situation, it's a public area, and it's thrown to her and it's closer to her, meaning she can protect it, not him, she's divorced. If it's closer to him in the sense that he can protect it, she can't, she's not divorced. If it's in a situation where they both can protect it on their own, or they need each other to protect it, that's considered there's a doubt whether she has been divorced or not, and therefore it follows all the laws that pertain to that. So the Mishnah continues, V'chein le'in kedushin. The same thing applies to kedushin. You want to marry a woman, you want to make kedushin on a woman, right? So we know the way you make kedushin, one of the ways of making kedushin is you give her money, right? You give her money for it. So instead of giving her the money, she's standing in a certain area, you throw the money to her, and as you throw it, you say, Harat Mekudeshesli. You should be Mekudesh, you should be married to me. So there too we say, if it lands closer to her in the sense it lands in a way that only she can protect it, he can't, then it's a good kedushin. If it's closer to him that only he can protect it, she can't, it's not a good kedushin. It's not considered she got it. In a situation where it's half and half, as we said, then it's a doubt. That means she has a status of whether maybe she's Mekudeshus or not, which means he cannot live with her as a married woman, or I shouldn't say that. He'd have to do the kedushin over again if he really wanted to be married to her, or if she wanted to marry somebody else, she needed to get. Now the question is, we said that the reason by Gittin, by a divorce, they allowed this is because they were afraid if the husband throws her to get, this is the only time he's going to give it to her, and after that he's leaving and he's going away. So therefore they instituted it can work this way. But that reason doesn't apply by kedushin. Clearly, by Gittin, we have a bigger problem. If it wouldn't work and he's going to run away, we're going to have a much bigger problem than the case by kedushin, necessarily. Meaning by kedushin, it wouldn't be this kind of concern that like he's going to do it and not do anything again. If he's trying to marry her, he's going to want to work it out. If he wants to divorce her, unfortunately, there are times where he wouldn't care if, let's say, the get's not going to work and she'll be stuck. Okay, so if that's the reasoning behind it, so by Gittin we can understand why the institute should work, but why should it work by kedushin? And the answer is because we find in many places that where they explain it here is the Torah compares the process of divorcing a wife to that of marrying a wife. We find that in the words of the Torah. Therefore, once the rabbis instituted that a woman acquires her get by having it land close to her, they instituted that a woman acquires the money for betrothal in the same way. Okay, so that works out in the first case. Now that's the next case. The same thing regarding paying up a debt. The creditor said to the borrower, Zraikli chayvi, throw me the money you owe me. And he threw it to him. Karev l'malva, if it comes close to the lender, meaning he's the only one in control, zacha halayva, then the leiva merits. Meaning the case is like this: the lender says to the borrower, "Throw me the money." He throws him the money, and then an animal comes by and takes the money and runs away with it. Is it considered paid or not? So we say if it's closer to the malva, if it's close to the borrower, to the lender, meaning he can protect it, the borrower can't. It's considered he got it. If it's considered he got it and he's paid, so the lender is the one who wins out in this kind of case. Karev l'loiva, but if let's say he throws the money, but it's still closer to the borrower, which means the borrower is still in control of it, that means the lender never got it, halayva chayiv. And then the animal comes and takes away the money, the borrower is going to still be liable. It's not considered to be paid. Mechza mechza, if it lands up half and half, meaning they both can either protect it it lands in a way that both of them can protect it on their own, or they need each other, then it's a doubt. Did he pay or not? So what's the halacha there? Shem yachleiku. They divide it. It lands up, we say, the question is, maybe he paid already, but maybe he didn't. So what does he do? He pays half. That's how you divide it up in a case of doubt. Now, the Batanura points out one important point here, and that is that in this case, by paying it out, there's really no reason to say that this law of the Rabbanan, that even if it's not in your domain, but it landed up closer to you, that it's considered like you got it. There's no reason. The reason of Gittin doesn't apply. The Torah compared Kedushin to Gittin, but not paying up a debt to Gittin. So then why would it work there? And the answer is because this guy said, the lender said, I want you to throw me the money and I want it to work like a get works. Meaning, in that sense, it shouldn't work. But if he says, I want it to work like a get, meaning that this is considered paid to me like I got it, like it would be considered that a woman got her get, even though it's in a public area, that's how I want things to work. Well, if that's how you want things to work, then that's the way it's going to work. If you said it should work like a get, then it will. And if it's close to you, to the lender, in a way that he only can protect it, he says, for me, that's a payment, then it's a payment. And if it doesn't come out that way, it's not a payment, because he stipulated that everything here should work like a get, like a divorce. Now, at the same time, let's say he didn't say that. Let's say he didn't say it should be like a get. And he said, throw it to me. Throw it to me. And the guy threw it. And the animal came and took it away. So the halacha is it's paid. Because if you told me to do this to pay you, and I did it, then I paid. The fact that you at the end didn't land up with it because the animal took it away is not going to make a difference. If I went ahead, you told me, this is how you should pay me, and I did. So that's a payment. It's only actually when he stipulates, I want it to be like the way a get works, that then we say, okay, closer to him, closer to the other one, just like by the women. Because he stipulated, I want it to work like a divorce would work in this kind of scenario where you're throwing it in a public area. But if he doesn't say that stipulation, he just says, throw it to me, that means he accepts the throwing as a payment. And no matter what happens afterwards, it's paid. Okay, we will finish up tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Tov.
Thank you, Rabbi.